morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'd like to thank you for your participation in today's meeting, and I apologize for the abruptness of the announcement. As you can see from the chart, our employment rate has decreased by 30% over the past 5 months, which is 8% lower than our rates from last year. Can anybody tell me why?
Yes, ma'am. Majority of our employees have been sending in their resignation letters since the start of June this year, right after the emergence of IY Company. Statistics shows that the prime driver for our employees' resignation is due to allegedly the other companies enticing more benefits.
Thank you for your input, Mr. Bulan. Now, I'd also like to ask everyone for their input on the matter. What do we know about IMY Company?
They are an international telemarketing agency that launched in September last 2020. At the moment, we don't have a clear picture of the extent of their offers, but from the rate of their growth, we can assume they possess a solid foundation that serves as a backbone to their success today.
I happened to overhear one of my subordinates mentioning how an acquaintance of hers who recently started working for IMI seemed to really enjoy their facilities. Perhaps we can take a look into that.
I agree. Ms. Cabalsa definitely raises an interesting point by bringing up facilities. Although I don't think our company lacks in that department, maybe we should also do as well to consider a change in environment.
A change in environment, you say? Would you mind elaborating on that?
Not at all. In my opinion, our company has top-tier facilities that are regularly maintained and managed on the clock. From our elevators to the sensors and even the air conditioning, everything is in pristine condition. However, being surrounded by all that technology might deter our employees who grew up surrounded accustomed by the natural greenery of nature, something we currently lack.
That's a very interesting take from Ms. Macalva. That's definitely one way to look at the problem. But for me, I think it's about the money.
The money?
Yes, to elaborate, I think IMY offers more enticing benefits and higher entry wages to its employees. Perhaps we can do the same.
Do you mind if I interject something here? Although raising our wages in an attempt to outdo IMY's efforts of a higher entry salary, I believe that it will cause a huge impact or decline in our revenue in the long run.
I agree. Money isn't something we can recklessly throw around, especially with the pandemic still looming over us. Maybe instead of a direct salary increase, we can compensate for it by giving them higher bonuses. This will of course still depend on their performance within the company, but at least in that regard, we'll avoid direct conflict with our adversary while appropriately recognizing the efforts of our employees.
Speaking of the pandemic, what do you think about allocating a more flexible working schedule for our employees? Like allowing them to work from home, for example. The commute to work is no doubt a struggle for those who don't possess private vehicles. And if you pair that with external factors like the weather or other variables we don't have control over, it could not only damage their performance but their well-being too.
That's true. Some of our employees tend to stay overtime because they prefer not to bring any work home, since that's the only portion of the day that they get to spend with their respective families.
Alright. As it stands, our options right now include adding a touch of flora and fauna to stimulate environmental awareness within the company, providing additional incentives to our employees' bonuses to acknowledge outstanding work performance, and implementing a more flexible schedule to aid those who live far away or are heavily inconvenienced by the commute to work for reasons like the pandemic or otherwise. Did I catch all that?
Yes, please.
I'm most appreciative of all your suggestions. We can definitely incorporate them into our company policies. Now, Ms. Capisonda previously mentioned how IMY was an international company. And what do international companies possess? Opportunities. Employees are drawn to companies that can sustain their livelihood. No matter how good and humanistic our approach is in persuading our employees to stay, I don't think it's enough to rival the security IMY currently offers. So we have to up our game. Any suggestions?
We could try looking for potential business partners to expand our influence. Right now, I'm actually eyeing Mahal Po o Mahal Ako Incorporation. It's renowned for its unique method of attracting investors, so being associated with it will do us good in getting our name out there.
There's also Sad Girl Corporation, which is famous for its unique way of brandishing logos. Over 350 companies worldwide have sought it out, but it's apparently on the pickier side when choosing its business partners.
Another company I'd like to suggest would be Enamo Company. It's known for catering a wide variety of customers that ranges from children to elders and everyone in between. It's very inclusive and is perceived positively by the general public due to its representation of providing opportunities for PWDs to experience work like everyone else.
Inamo Company? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that company involved in the Parisian scandal 2 years ago?
The Parisian scandal.
Oh, I've heard of that one. One of the company's workers from Paris allegedly made claims on how a majority of their employees were simply being commercialized to keep up public appearances, and that they didn't actually care for the PWDs.
So they were simply marketing their supposed humility and compassion for their workers to draw attention to themselves?
That sounds about right. I assume this means we'll be omitting them from the list then?
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much, Ms. Makabuhay and Ms. Cabaza for shedding light on that area. Currently, we will be reaching out to Mahal Ko Incorporation along with Sad Girl Corporation to strengthen our web of connections. If we can secure a partnership with these two companies, it will definitely increase our sustainability and provide a better overall working condition for our employees. Ms. Makabuhay, can I leave that task to you?
Certainly, ma'am, I won't disappoint.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
While we're on the topic of company relations, might I also suggest implementing more frequent team building exercises? To elaborate, I believe our employees will be more inclined to stay if they develop interpersonal bond in their coworkers, and that way they're less likely to see each other solely as competition and develop camaraderie and find professionalism in the workplace.
It's an interesting idea. I actually hadn't thought of that before. What does everyone else think?
I like it, although it is a standard rule to keep one's personal affairs separate from their job. No man is an island. The foundation of any good company also relies on the employees' capabilities to work together in groups.
Additionally, good work relationship also decreases the chances for large bouts of conflicts to happen because everyone's already accustomed with the work ethics and habits of those they frequently do projects with.
So not only are we boosting productivity and morale, but allowing our employees to engage with one another will help them feel less like machine and more like people.
Alright, it seems we've agreed to a consensus. All your suggestions and comments have been duly written. Our discussion today essentially came down to securing the livelihood of our employees, providing better working conditions for them, rewarding them accordingly for their performance, and promoting an emotionally safe space for them to be vulnerable in. With these changes, our problem of employees consistently resigning will hopefully come to a stop. Any questions?
None, ma'am.
That's all for today then. Meeting adjourned. Thank you once again for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Company I'd like to suggest would be Enamo Company.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
class.
I'd like to thank you for your participation.
Received positively by the general public due to its representation of providing a
The Parisian scandal.
Oh,
The Parisian scandal.
I've heard of that.
Love that! Makita yun! Kabo!
the bloopers.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone.
Wait lang.